providing us the opportunity to meet again. My name is Rolf Riemenschneider. I work in the same unit as Rainer Zimmermann. And so far we are the central entry point for the activities of ICT for factories of the future. I try to be brief as well and to introduce now what we thought about the workshop today, why we are organizing a discussion, but we want to have a discussion at this point in time. In the first place, we have an annual meeting on all FOF projects to think about what's the outcome, what's the impact, so-called impact days. And we thought this time, well, we're getting too many projects. Already in an ICT part, we have 50 projects launched in different topics, total 250 million euros, so that's the baseline. But what's the basic message? So what is the success factors, what is the impact, and what's the future? So that is, you cannot solve that within one day. You need several steps, intermediate steps. And it turned out this year that we delegated some of the tasks to some sort of moderators and form some grouping, and that's the second stage of that. And we want to continue that discussion. That is one of the main motivations. And you've seen that invitation to come to Geneva. First of all, to continue our work on the grouping and the clustering of certain projects to see what is the cross-cutting issues and what sort of conclusions can we draw out of that. Secondly, we want the projects also to look beyond the horizon, to look what's going on next to them. What are the other projects doing? What are synergies and what are possible ways of cooperation? On the other hand, we think that it's a good timing now because the new work program Horizon 2020 is not yet launched. So it's still time for brainstorming to think where we are. We've seen we have a roadmap, how to position ourselves, what do we like on the roadmap, what we don't like, and what's our vision, to express our vision for the future. Secondly, we talk about tomorrow about standardization, and you see there was a press release on the innovation of the Living Lab, of the launch of the Living Lab, InnoLab, yes. And also the Commission has spread out a press release today on the initiative, what we call I4MS Innovation for Manufacturing SMEs, which built itself on the program 2013. So there's a communication outside to the press today as well, and as a major thing as well to reflect, I mentioned already, on the FP program. So to be brief, in the first place, what has been achieved, what's the impact? Secondly, what do you think about innovation? What is the major theme for Horizon 2020? And third one, how to position ourselves to collect your feedback on the roadmaps. So on the future vision, I think just to take one slide, which was sent earlier last year from Airbus, it's data-driven. I think that's what ICT is about today. We have a lot more data, what we gather from the shop floor. We have to do something with the data on the central database and to make it available to extract knowledge out of the data. The data has to be shared and has to be managed across the different supply chain and the value chain. And it's more and more to the user who has to do something with the data, the complexity of the interaction of the user and the massive amount of data. And all that in the end is also linked to ICT, which you don't get for free. You know, ICT tools are not easy to use. They're getting all more complex and have a shorter innovation and life cycle. So here you have to think about it and to invest on it. So there are many, many challenges, and these challenges were articulated one way or another in the FP roadmap structure. And as I said, this is the first structure what we have for Horizon 2020, and that also needs further thinking, further fine-tuning, and further prioritization. So please express your views within the different groups of project what we have at the moment to see where we position ourselves. Did we miss something, or where do we have to put our emphasis? Good. About the workshop today, now it's time for you also to interact, to see what's the starting point, and to provide feedback and provide input. The starting point was a roadmap which was structured around 3 topics in FP7: digital, smart, and virtual. these topics or these confinements of the topics don't exist anymore. But we are all free now to organize ourselves and to reposition ourselves. But at the starting point, it was not too bad. So you see 8 projects were grouped around the digital factories, 18 around the smart factories, and 10 about the virtual factories. But it's not binding anymore. So we formed basically 3 groups. The title of the first group is the PLM Digital Factory Simulation Topics, which will be moderated by Dominique Gorecki from DFKA and Arndt Schirmer, I think of that from EADS. And we have Rapporteur Paul Silvakis from FP7 FOF.
We have also a second co-chair, which is Nikos Papastas from LMS.
Okay, welcome, Nikos. So I remove my stuff over there. Good, then we'll start with that one. The second one, very good. Yes, the second group is session B on integrated platform for the smart factories. We talk about more about the sensing control systems linked to the data of the smart factory, which is more linked to the foundation project. Here we have one highest moderator together with Jean-Bernard Hens. Both speakers have been already shown up. And the rapporteur who will read is Alex Sana. He's from Berlin. Good. And the third group is centered around the virtual factories and around the topic of what we have in the IT roadmap which came up over there, the manufacturing business map by new business models, virtual enterprises across the global supply chain. And here, the initial moderator was Oscar Lazaro, but unfortunately was stuck in one of the airport, and this will be Sergio from TC Solutions. And Sylvia over there in the back kindly agreed to replace him. Thanks so much for spontaneously reacting to our request. And I'm sure we'll have a nice discussion later on, because we'll assist you then as a rapporteur. Good. These are the 3 groupings, so we are well set. Again, what are our expectations from the Commission on these workshops and the groupings? First of all, talk about your success stories. So, and where are the opportunities to bring them to the press, to bring them to a wider public, try to use these opportunities, try to go to the public that we achieve a higher visibility. So it's communication means over there. Secondly, within the group, try to extract key messages and join forces in order to communicate these key messages. Be prepared for the future to drive actively the roadmap process and steer the future emphasis and topics for the work programs. And third one, organize yourself. If we have major key events like the ICT conference or like the Future conference, try to be proactive and form collaborations over there in order to join forces and have a more organized discussion in these events where many people come together. And last but not least, from our point of view, as you heard about cyber-physical systems, and we want to see what's the association of these so-called cyber-physical systems, which is a new term for Horizon 2020, in the different networking sessions what we have today, either in terms of digital nature or physical challenges. I mean, you see this slide over here. That's all for my part. I wish you a stimulating, exciting, and lively discussion today. And I pass the job now to Dominique, who will introduce the first session.
Thank you very much.